Hello, Julie here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing Roxy's Weekly Challenge week 35. Now you might notice that I've missed week 34, but week 34 was creating like snippet rolls and I did that 1 week ago, so I'm not going to repeat that one. So I'm going to do week 35 today, and to start with, that also includes collaging. So I've got this piece of paper as a background paper from my vintage Christmas kit, and I'm going to use that for the inside of this project, and I'm going to cut it down to, I'm going to say 6 inches. I'll make it 6.5 inches. And cut the bottom off. Right, now I'm doing one a bit different to Rachel. Rachel used book page and did her collaging on the outside, which is what I'm going to do, except I'm using a digital. She had a book page in here, and then she put some some paper over the top of it, like just sheets of paper, not small collage pieces. So I'm just going to use this as my inside without having to collage it. So I'm going to collage this area, and I have got an assortment of book pages, neutral pages, and some of the pages from my Christmas kit that I will mix in amongst these. Now it's going to be mostly neutral, and I'm not not too worried about actually. Oh, I can just trim it off after. So I'll stick this down. I have done collage before on my videos, and I'm not sure exactly how much of this collaging you would want to see. If you're a beginner, it'd probably be interesting to you, but if you've been doing this sort of thing for a while, you'll probably find this very boring. So I will speed it up. Normally I would ink around everything, but I'm not going to today. Ink around this. I'll ink around the outside edge of the page. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll speed this up, and if you want to see, if you're a beginner and you'd like to see a more detailed collaging video, leave a comment and I'll do one. Okay, so now I'm going to just let this dry for a couple of minutes, and then I will put it in my trimmer and trim all these excess pieces off. But I don't want to put them in my trimmer while they're still wet, so I'll just give that a few minutes. Okay, this is dry now, so let's trim it up. So I'm just going to use my trimmer. So this digital image is the inside of my embellishment. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this. So we're going to fold this over to about there. Try and burnish that down. Because of the way the papers are glued on there, it's really quite hard to get that to fold straight because of the way that the ends of the paper and that happen. It wasn't as dry as I thought it was. Okay, and then this piece is going to fold over here. It's a bit unfortunate. Let me get my ruler. Get that edge there and run my bone folder along there like that. Then I can fold that over like that. Burnish that down. And I can add a bit more glue here. Obviously it wasn't glued right to the edge. And fold that over. I'm not liking that there, so I'm going to get a little bit of book page. I'm going to stick that there like that. Go that way. There we go. That one's not folded perfectly either. Right, still not perfect, but it's a bit better. Okay, now we can clip these corners off. I'm just going to cut that one, turn it over and cut the same off the bottom here. So that makes them about the same. I'm going to round the corners on the others. So I'm going to do a large corner round. Don't know whether that will actually, can't round that. Okay. Now I need to, now we can embellish this a bit. So I've got some fussy cuts here. I've got a, first of all I'm going to ink around the whole thing. Now on the back here, I'm not going to put anything, I'm just going to leave it with the collage papers. You could put a pocket, you could put coffee dyed paper to have like a journaling spot on the back. Completely up to you what you want to do on the back. You could just use it as a pocket, you know, like attach it to your page like that, leaving this as a pocket. And so you wouldn't see the back at all, but the back's already collaged, so I think it would be nice to be able to see it. I'm going to use this as like a standalone embellishment to put into a pocket. I need to collect up a few more supplies, so I will go and do that and then I'll come back. Well, I went ahead and finished this and forgot to press the play button on my camera. So I'm just going to explain to you what I've done, and I will put a link in the description box to Rachel's video so that you can go over there and see the steps, but I will explain it to you. So once I finished inking around it all, I embellished this front section here. I've got 3 labels and a fussy cut from the Vintage Christmas digital kit, and I also did the same thing on the flat piece that comes over. I've got a label, a fussy cut and a bit of lace in behind there. Then I took some coffee dyed paper and cut it. I just cut an A4 sheet. I didn't cut it right in the middle, I cut it a bit off the middle so that I have a couple of different sized papers in here. So they're just plain coffee dyed paper, and I took my stapler and stapled them into place. Now I've got one of these staplers that, you know, twist like this, and you can put the things in there. It doesn't matter how deep they are. So I stapled them in with the staple from the back, and so we have a little pad, a notebook in here. Now Rachel did hers with all sorts of pattern paper and all different sizes, and you know, some of them were longer, so she folded them over so you had a side pocket, and some of them were longer, so she folded that up to make a bottom pocket. You can do if you've got your pages to a size like this, for example, you can just use some pattern paper and make pockets in here if you want to, either side pockets, bottom pockets, whatever you like, but I wanted mine just to be like a writing space, so I haven't put any pockets on mine. So that gives us a nice little notebook in there. It folds over, and then I made, or we both made, we put a tab on here with an eyelet and threaded this ribbon through, and that is our closure for our little folio. So that just wraps around like that, and then we can tie it into a nice little bow. So I'm probably going to put this into my Christmas journal that I'm creating. I'm creating 2 Christmas journals, so I may well make another one to go in the other journal. So yeah, so that's it. I'm sorry that you missed out on the actual process of doing that. All of the embellishments that I've put on here I've inked around because, you know, I am an inker and I like that look. Of course, lots of people don't ink. Rachel doesn't ink. So yeah, so that's it. That's our little project for today. I think it's great. I really love it, actually. So handy. And you could also you know, you can put a pocket on the back here if you want to. You could also, if you had, like, say that's your journal page, you could stick it onto your page there, and you could have a pocket behind it as well if you wanted to do that. So it's got lots of possibilities, you know, if you wanted. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. You could also, if you put that over like that, yeah, so yeah, I'm sure you can come up with lots of ideas about what you can do with it. Alright, well, thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you want to actually see those last few steps, but they're basically just embellishing and adding the journal signature to the middle, which is only stapled in. But of course you can do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, or you know, you can attach that however you like. You could sew it in with your sewing machine, whatever. Yeah, so alright, okay, thanks for joining me, and I hope you can join me when I post my next video. Okay, bye.